Top story at this hour. Israel-Hamas war has entered a new era after US and British warplanes and ships launched dozens of attacks across Yemen in retaliation for continuous Houthi attacks in Red Sea. The war seems to have now only escalated. Two bases of Balochi terror group Jaish ul-Adl in Pakistan were targeted by missiles and drones on Tuesday, a day after Iran's elite Revolutionary Guards attacked targets in Iraq and Syria with missiles. The terror group previously mounted attacks on Iranian security forces in the border area with Pakistan. Pakistan said Iran violated its airspace, resulting in the death of 2 children and 3 girls were injured hours after missiles by Iran targeted bases of Jaish al-Adl. Islamabad warned that this incident could have serious consequences and was completely unacceptable, is what it said. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian met with Anwaar Haq Kakar, the caretaker Prime Minister of Pakistan, on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos. Our Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan getting us more details on that story. Geeta, there's been a response from Islamabad already saying that this action was unprovoked.
Well, it could have been unprovoked, but these are serious incidents that we're looking at where the Iranian forces have taken down or carried out precision strikes well within Pakistan. Pakistan certainly has warned Iran of consequences, and all this is happening, Mehr, when the foreign minister of Iran was meeting the caretaker Prime Minister Anwaar Haq Kakar on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos. And now the Pakistani Foreign Ministry has come out with a very strong reaction that there could be consequences since 2 children have also been killed. So there have been innocent civilian deaths in the strikes carried out by Iran. Iranian agencies initially had put out the news, but then deleted the ones in English, citing legal reasons. But this certainly is going to have a huge impact on Iran-Pakistan ties, which already has not been on the best of terms, so to say. And right now we're looking at what the Pakistani reaction could be to this action. Iran has its hands full, not just when it comes to this border between Iran and Pakistan. It also has been backing all those organizations that are carrying out strikes against Israel in the Red Sea, as also well within Israel as well. So we're looking at the Houthi cooperation with Iran. We're talking about the Hezbollah in Lebanon, and now Iran directly carrying out strikes against militant camps that they claim they targeted well within Pakistan. So this is going to be a multi-pronged war, so to say, for Iran. Although officially it has not entered the fray when it comes to Israel-Hamas war, but the fact that they've been well entrenched in the fight against Israel.
Geeta, I'm just going to talk to you about that in a moment from now, and how the response of Pakistan essentially has been. Has it been timid? Do we expect this to escalate even further, at least from the side of Pakistan? But be with us. Let's talk about the group, Jaish al-Adl, that had been targeted by Iran. What really is this group about? It's a Sunni Salafi separatist militant organization, the basis of which was struck. The group was actually founded in the year 2012 by members of the Jundallah. Operates mainly in the southern eastern Iran region. Carried out attacks against military personnel in Iran, and that's where the retaliation comes in. Fighting for independence of Sistan and Balochistan. It maintains ties with Ansar al-Furqan, a militant group. Also designated terror outfit by Iran, Japan, New Zealand and the US. Strongly, in fact, denounced Iranian intervention in the Syrian civil war. Geeta continues to be with us. Geeta, apart from the fact that Islamabad has released a statement talking about the fact that 2 children have died, 3 other girls have been injured in this attack and this was unprovoked, what kind of escalation do you really expect from the side of Pakistan?
Well, as of now, we do not know whether if there will be a military response to the strikes that have been carried out, but this will have huge diplomatic repercussions and ramifications for sure between Iran and Pakistan. That already has the ties of the two countries have not always been cordial. There have been problems in the past as well. But this certainly will take the entire situation between India and Pakistan to a whole new level, given that innocents were also killed in the military strikes that were carried out by Iran. But like you rightly pointed out, there have been attacks within Iran, particularly the case where more than 100 were impacted when Qasem Soleimani's funeral anniversary was being observed. His death anniversary was being observed, and there was a massive bomb attack and an explosion in the vicinity, which injured and killed many. And for Iran, which is investigating the matter, they were looking at which are the organizations responsible. Jaish had claimed responsibility, which is the Islamic State. And so Iran started looking at within the Islamic State, which is a Sunni terrorist organization and has a lot of splinter groups, which are the organizations that could be responsible. And in that, they looked at and zeroed in on this one particular group, that's Jaish ul-Adl, within Pakistan. And so, according to certain reports, this was a response of Iran to Qasem Soleimani's anniversary attack that took place just a few weeks ago. And so now we are looking at one attack and a counterattack. We'll again have to wait and see how Pakistan is going to react to this. This certainly was a militant camp that Iran was targeting. So it will impact the two countries diplomatically. Will Pakistan get into this for a Sunni militant group and attack or use military force against Iran? Could be highly unlikely, but again, we'll have to wait and see what the developments really look like.
It definitely has fueled up a diplomatic crisis between the two countries. But, you know, Geeta, just talk to us a little more about the history of these attacks. Why has this militant group been targeting Iranian security forces?
Well, Iran is a Shia state. The conflict between terrorist organizations, when you look at West Asia, Sneha, is well beyond religious. It is not religious in terms of one religion fighting the other. It's not a Muslim Brotherhood or the Islamic State fighting all other religions. There is a major strife within this entire region when it comes to Shia and Sunni strife, the sectarian politics and the sectarian strife within the region. Iran is a Shia state and has come under severe attack from many Sunni terror organizations and militant organizations. And they're normally based out of Sunni states. In this case, we are looking at an Islamic State terror operation that was carried out well within Iran. And Iran carried out an entire investigation as to what really happened. So within West Asia, or what the others call Middle East, there's a major Sunni-Shia strife which leads to a lot of organizations that work against the interests of either Sunni states or Shia states. Houthi rebels in Yemen, Hezbollah particularly, or Hamas particularly, Sneha, is a Sunni organization, but because of the Palestine cause, draws a lot of support from Iran. If not for the Palestine cause, Hamas also would have stood against Shia organizations such as Hezbollah or Houthis. But such is the case where in West Asia you see a Shia-Sunni strife, and Iran being a very strong, in fact the strongest Shia state in the Middle East, given that we have Sunni Arab world in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain. This certainly makes for a huge power game between nations. But terror organizations also then sympathize with certain countries and attack the other.
Okay.
And in this case, it is Iran.
Geeta, be with us. I'm just going to come back to you in a moment from now. My colleague Shiv Arur also joining us this morning. Shiv, in fact, this obviously is, inflaming regional tensions as well, with both Pakistan and Iraq rejecting the explanation that has been essentially given out by Iran, explaining the reason for this attack.
You know, this is a tense situation also because Pakistan hasn't retaliated yet, and one wonders, how that's possible. Pakistan This is the fourth or the fifth time in the last few years, Mehr, that Pakistan's, quote-unquote sovereignty has been violated by a third party. Twice on those occasions in the last few years, they've been done by India in Balakot and Uri. Before that, you had the Osama operation in Abbottabad. Now you've got Iran conducting conventional strikes. These are not, militant or terrorist strikes, but these are conventional missile attacks from Iran into Balochistan, which is a very big deal. It's an act of war, basically, between two countries. And Pakistan has responded, at least so far, with a press release condemning what has happened. Geeta has put into context very clearly, the state of play between the two sides. The border between Iran and Pakistan has been rested for a very long time. There have been Sunni and Shia tensions, between disparate groups for a long time. The Jaish ul-Adl, as you had brought out earlier in that graphic, Sneha, have been, taking pot shots and attacking Iranian security forces, especially the Revolutionary Border Force, for a long time now. So this was, in many ways, sort of waiting to happen. But given everything else that's happening in the region at this point of time, it takes a hugely more important complexion, because the airstrikes that the United States has been conducting in Yemen against the Houthis, which is basically an Iranian proxy, the continuing tensions in the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf mean that Iran is in many ways geopolitically a kind of global hot potato right now. The entire world is looking at everything that Iran is doing at this point of time. And these particular attacks show that Iran is fully, willing to, conduct expeditionary attacks on its neighbors and countries outside of Iran. There are attacks apparently that have happened on U.S. installations in both Syria and Iraq as well. So this is a situation that is slowly but surely, getting out of control. The heat is rising in this part of in this part of the world, but specifically zooming in on the Iran-Pakistan issue. Pakistan has always been a country, leaving aside the Abbottabad operation in which Osama was killed. In every other occasion, Pakistan has tried to demonstrate some kind of retaliation for its domestic audience, except at this time, Sneha, this is a Pakistan that has been, significantly depleted and weakened and enfeebled. Does it have the stomach to actually conduct even the kind of, token retaliatory attack that would please its domestic audiences? It's a country that's about to face elections, some say maybe possibly even in February. Does its military, which is currently in its biggest low, historically its biggest low, have the wherewithal to conduct some kind of a strike on Iran at this point of time? So it's actually quite amazing. It's very telling that Pakistan has responded with a press release. Their air defense systems did not work. They did not scramble any fighters. They actually didn't even see this coming, which is in many ways far more disturbing for Pakistan, that is, than the fact that they were actually attacked. So we'll have to see over the next few hours and maybe days what exactly Pakistan does, because now the ball is very firmly in their court, Mehr.
What I want to ask you, Shiv, is the kind of response that you would expect from the Western world, given that in the past the attacks on, in Iraq, essentially, by Iran were denounced by the US, by Britain and France.
Iran right now, if you look at it in terms of the kind of the kind of comic book blacks and whites that the world tends to look at these things, Iran is the kind of villain of the piece right now. They're the bad guys, Sneha. And with the Israel-Hamas conflict, Iran's been the one, basically orchestrating the attacks from the Hezbollah, from Syria, as well as the Houthis. The Houthis have been paralyzing shipping traffic in the Red Sea. You saw an attack happen just a couple of days ago as well. So this is a situation where Iran is very much flexing, and they are fully aware that they are under watch, and possibly will be under direct attack as well. Now remember that Pakistan isn't just Pakistan. Pakistan is an ally of the United States. So an attack of this kind has its own repercussions that go beyond just how Pakistan will react. Pakistan is a country, no matter what we think about Pakistan here in India, Pakistan is a country that has allies, including countries like China, including countries like the United States. It has friends in Europe as well.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they react. All of this gets pulled in, it becomes much more global.
I'm just going to thank you, Shiv, for the moment for joining us with your perspective on that, a senior executive editor with his views on that big story that we are tracking from across the border. Well-known Pakistani journalist Arzu Kazmi is also now joining us. Thank you so much for your time. By and large, the response by far of Pakistan is being seen as a meek sort of a response. Statement being issued that 2 children have been killed, 3 women, 3 girls have been injured. Arzu, how do you look into this response of Pakistan?
I think Pakistan is not informing the right news. As a journalist, I feel that. Okay. Because how it is possible that Iran attacked Pakistan to the militant group and it kills 2 children only and 3 injured. So there is something we are waiting for the full news, and I think the complete news we will get after few hours. Because it's too early that I comment on this, and but still Foreign Office issued this statement. Or साथ ही साथ this is what I want to say, that yes, this militant group was involved and attacked Iran several times, so that's why we are not surprised that Iran tried to kill them or tried to hit them. But yes, we are waiting for ISPR and also Foreign Office to issue a complete detailed statement about it.
You know, also as we're expecting elections in a month's time in your country, just give us a sense of how do you see this playing out as far as domestic politics is concerned. At the end of the day, the optics of this, that there's been yet another strike essentially, which is further going to escalate the tensions in this region. But what is Pakistan really doing about this?
No, I don't think that elections is a very serious matter in Pakistan, because everybody knows who's coming as a prime minister and who's making the government. So in Pakistan, even the common persons are not, common people are not interested in elections. But yes, this strike is very serious, and as already Pakistan facing troubles from Afghan border. As you know that TTP is attacking, and TTP is not Pakistan is not able to control TTP. So it's really a difficult time for Pakistan, because now they have to talk to Iran, and I don't think that Pakistan will attack Iran, because there's some politicians and some journalists who want Pakistan to attack in a similar way, but I don't think that Pakistan can do it.
Okay, no military response, but diplomatically, as far as the situation between both the countries, relationship between both the countries is concerned, there definitely is a crisis there brewing even further. Arzu, I'm going to thank you for the moment for joining in with your perspective.